Hey, what's up, guys? It's Sports Blitz here, and we're back with another NFL mock draft. Before I get into it, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,500 subscribers, and we're getting pretty close now. So if you could help me reach that goal by subscribing, that'd be awesome. So today we're going to be using the NFL mock draft database mock draft simulator. I've never used it. I don't know quite how good their rankings are, so kind of bear with me here. See how it goes. But let's go ahead and get on into it. With the first pick, I have the Texans taking Bryce Young. I think it pretty much has to be Young right here. Their quarterback play this season has been atrocious, to say the least. I think Bryce Young would be definitely the right fit for that franchise. Number 2, the Chicago Bears. Now, you can make an argument right here for Jalen Carter or Will Anderson, okay? I think Will Anderson would be a really, really good replacement for Khalil Mack. Definitely give them that much-needed pass rush. But Jalen Carter would be really good to help the run defense, and the run defense really has not been good this year at all. I think for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and go Jalen Carter right here. But Will Anderson would be an awesome pick right here as well. Number 3, the Seattle Seahawks are on the clock, and I'm going to go ahead and give them Will Anderson. Really, what I see the Seahawks doing here is if the Bears go Anderson, they'll get Jalen Carter. If they go Jalen Carter, they'll get Will Anderson. I think it's pretty simple. But number 4, the Arizona Cardinals, it's kind of hard to tell what they're planning on doing right now. I mean, Cliff Kingsbury's on his way out. Kyler Murray is just, I don't know what his deal has been this year. I don't know if whoever the new coach ends up being is going to work with him and, just rebuild the team around him again, or if he's planning on trying to trade Kyler Murray and maybe starting over with a new quarterback. I don't know. I'm going to plan under the assumption that they go into the season with Kyler Murray and try to build around him. And in that case, I am actually going to go with Myles Murphy right here. I do really like Murphy. He's a really good pass rusher. I think he can be really good in run defense as well. I do like Tyree Wilson. I don't love him as much as Myles Murphy. I think Murphy is a lot more complete of a player. Then we have Indianapolis at number 5, and I've seen a lot of people arguing Stroud, seen a lot of people arguing Levis. I've seen a few people even arguing Anthony Richardson. I would probably stay away from Anthony Richardson right now if I were you, just because he's not ready right now and is going to need 1, if not 2 years to develop. And Levis, I think, will probably need a little bit of time to develop as well, but he's more ready right now than Richardson. But overall, I think Stroud is the smartest pick, so I'm going to go Stroud right here. Then for the Detroit Lions, I fully see them going into next year with Jared Goff. I think he's quietly had a really good season. I think he's a lot better than people give him credit for. And really, you can, if you build that defense more, the defense is going to be really good. Now, there's 2 players here I'm really, really debating on. And that's Tyree Wilson and Keely Ringo. You could build the pass rush and help out Aiden Hutchinson and get Tyree Wilson here. Or you could get a really, really good corner to probably be the number 1 corner ahead of Jeff Okudah, to be honest. I mean, Okudah's kind of stepping up. He's done a lot better this year than normal. But I think Keely Ringo overall is going to end up being the better corner. So either player I think would be really, really good. I'll be honest, I haven't really looked at free agency yet, so I don't know what type of players are out there. Based off just this alone, I think I'm going to go Keely Ringo. I think he has way too much talent as corner to pass up on. So I'm going Keely Ringo right here. Then for the Atlanta Falcons, they need some pass rush, like really badly. Not even going to hesitate here. I'm going Tyree Wilson. Then for the Raiders, it kind of sounds like Jared Goff is on his way out. Or not Jared Goff, Derek Carr. I don't know why I said Goff. Derek Carr. Sounds like he's on his way out. I don't know if they're going to try to like trade for a veteran or if they're going to go ahead and draft. I think right here, I think the best fit for them is Will Levis. If they have some patience, I think Anthony Richardson could be pretty good for them too, but I don't see him as a great fit. I think Will Levis is a much better fit for the Raiders. So I'm going to go ahead and go Levis right here. Then for the Carolina Panthers, I'm debating right here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and actually have the Panthers have the first trade in this draft. So my argument here is Sam Darnold has played really well so far this year, and I don't think it's bad enough that the Panthers have to take Anthony Richardson right here. I think they could trade back a few spots, probably still get him, completely realistically. He'll have time to develop. He can start Sam Darnold next year and, at the very least have some sort of quarterback battle. But really, I think, I think Darnold's going to start and I think he can be pretty good. But I don't know that he's going to be the franchise long-time answer. I think Anthony Richardson can become that guy. But you don't need to take him at number 9. You can trade back a few spots and still get him. So I'm going to go ahead and have the Texans trade up. So I'm going to go ahead and give the Panthers the 9th pick and have the Texans give the 12th. And let's see. I think we're also going to give them the 64th pick. I think that's pretty fair. Because I don't think the 32nd is quite fair enough. I mean, I want to see if it'd even be debatable here. Okay, I guess it's not going to let me do that. So let me go ahead and go back in. So we'll do this and this. Okay, trade is accepted. Texans are on the clock. And I'm going to go ahead and give the Texans Brian Bryce. I think he is a really good pass rusher. I think right here, if he was still on the clock, I think a team like Philadelphia or even Tennessee would probably take him right here. So I think it's a really good trade for both sides. But then Philly is on the board, and their secondary is really good right now, but it's getting a little bit older. I mean, I want to say Darius Slay and James Bradbury are both 30 or older. And again, they're really good players, but they're getting up there in age. They're going to need to start replacing them. And there's no real glaring holes right now anyways. I think Joey Porter Jr. is going to be an awesome pick. He can be taught the scheme really well by Darius Slay and Bradbury. Kind of get coached under them, and when those guys are on their way out, Joey Porter I think can be a really good starter for them. Then for Tennessee, I think they honestly could also use some big secondary help. But I see that they need receivers more. They really need some receiver help. I know they took Traylon Burks last year, but Robert Woods is getting old and hasn't really had a great year, and Burks has had some injuries as well, and I don't know, I think Quentin Johnston would just be an awesome pick for them. So we're going him there. Then for the Carolina Panthers on the board now, now they go ahead and get Anthony Richardson. I think this is a much better spot for them to take him. The Jets are now on the board, and honestly, I think it kind of screws over the Jets because with the issues with Zach Wilson, I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets took a quarterback. But now the top guys are out. You know, the best quarterback on the board now is Hendon Hooker, and I think he's probably a second round quarterback. So looking at this, if I were the Jets here, I am probably... Let me think. I'm kind of thinking about trading back. Let me see if I can find a good trade back. Okay, so I think I'm actually going to have the Jets trade with the Packers. NYG and Green Bay. Okay, let's give them the 13th pick, and then I think they're going to get a third round pick as well from the Packers. I think that's an even trade here. So the Packers are on the board, and I'm going to go ahead and actually have them take Jordan Addison. Him and Jackson Smith and Jigba are kind of like the number 2A and 2B receivers for me. It's kind of hard to put either one ahead of each other. Really, after Quentin Johnston, I think those two are definitely the best. I just don't know which one of them to put ahead. So I'm going to have the Packers take Jordan Addison here. Then the Commanders are on the board. And I'm going to be honest, I haven't paid super close attention to how the offensive line is this year. But I feel like it hasn't really been real great. I feel like it'd be a really good pick for them to get Paris Johnson right here. I think he'd be a really, really good pick here. So I'm going to have the Commanders take Paris Johnson. And I mean, really, like, even if their tackles have been good this year, at the very least, you can put him at center and really build as good of an offensive line as you can get. I mean, Paris Johnson, you can plug in probably anywhere on that offensive line aside from center. So I think that's a good pick. Then the Steelers are on the board, and I'll be completely honest here. I actually like Cam Smith more than Christian Gonzalez. So we're going to go Cam Smith right here for the Steelers. Now the Jets are on the board, and they go ahead and get the guy they want in Jared Verse from Florida State. Now, my reason for that is that John Franklin Myers he's still pretty good. He's still good in rush defense, like against the run, but he's not great. And really, Carl Lawson has had some injury concerns as well. I mean, you pair up Jared Verse with Jermaine Johnson, and I think that pass rush gets a lot better. And really, even at the very least, even if Carl Lawson does stay healthy, you know, you can rotate Jared Verse in there and have a very, very good pass rush. We all know that Robert Saleh loves having a good pass rush. You saw it in San Francisco. And I mean, we saw them take Jermaine Johnson in the first round last year. He wants a good pass rush. I think this makes plenty of sense for the Jets. Then for Detroit, kind of messed things up for them as well, because I think they probably would have gone with a Verse right there. But instead, we're going to have them actually take Trenton Simpson. Have an absolute freak linebacker in the middle of that defense. That's definitely a position that they've kind of lacked for a while, and I think him controlling the defense is going to really take their defense to new strides. But then the Seahawks are now on the board, and I think what we're going to do here is actually go Peter Skoronski, pair him up with Charles Cross, and I think the Seahawks can have one of the best offensive tackle tandems in the league. Really, really protecting Geno Smith out there. Then Jacksonville is on the clock, and I'm going to be honest, I don't love their receivers. I don't. So I'm going to go Jackson Smith and Jigba here, and I think he instantly becomes Trevor Lawrence's number one wide receiver. Then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the board, and they go with Bijan Robinson. I think he is leaps and bounds the best running back in the draft, and with how bad their rush offense is right now, they need it. I think Bijan Robinson's an awesome pick for them. Then the Patriots are on the board, and Hunter Henry's getting old. He hasn't exactly had an amazing season. I'm kind of thinking we're going to go Michael Mayer right here. We both know that Bill Belichick likes using tight ends in their system, and I just don't know how much longer Hunter Henry is going to be that guy, Hasn't had an incredible year. Now the Giants are on the board, and I'm going to go ahead and go... There's three guys I'm debating on right here. Christian Gonzalez, Clark Phillips, and Jalen Hyatt. I'm a huge Jalen Hyatt fan. I definitely think he deserves to go in the first round. But they could also use some corner help, and I think either Gonzalez or Clark Phillips would be an awesome pick. I think we want to build that offense around Daniel Jones as much as possible. I think we're going to go Jalen Hyatt. I really like this kid. Then Baltimore's on the board, and they're probably pretty upset that Hyatt is gone. We're going to give them Christian Gonzalez instead, help that pass defense. Chargers are on the board now, and I think we go, honestly, Brian Branch right here. Pair him up with Derwin James. Bengals now on the clock, and I'm going to go ahead and go with Broderick Jones. You pair him up with Lyle Collins, and I think they instantly become much better at protecting Joe Burrow. Vikings now on the clock, and I think we go Clark Phillips. Vikings fans, let me know what you think of that in the comments section below. I was really debating on either Isaiah Foskey or Nolan Smith, but I feel like their pass rush is pretty good right now. At least their edge rushers. I'm not really so sure about their interior pass rush. But now the Cowboys are on the clock, and I think right here, we're going to go ahead and go Isaiah Foskey. DeMarcus Lawrence is getting up there in age. I think he's 31, 32 right now. So they're definitely going to need some reinforcements there, and Foskey's really good. Then the Broncos now on the clock, and I think we go Nolan Smith to go ahead and replace Bradley Chubb. Now the Bills are on the board, and I'm going to go ahead and go Jahmyr Gibbs right here. Finally have a real number one running back. He's also a really good receiving back as well. I think he's really going to help that that pass offense as well. Because I think we all know the Bills are going to be a pass first team regardless, but you can still use Gibbs in that type of system. Chiefs now on the clock, and we're going to go ahead and go. You know what? I think I'm going to go Siaki Ika. Some people might argue it's a little bit high for him. I think you pair him up with Chris Jones, and that D-line gets a lot scarier. Philadelphia is now on the board, and we're going to go ahead and give them. I think we go ahead and give them Noah Sewell. Now, I know Eagles fans really hate the idea of them taking a linebacker first round. But honestly, it is what it is. You know, I think Noah Sewell would really, really help that defense even more. Really good run stopper. I think he's a good pick for them. Then the Texans here at 32. I thought there were only 31 picks in the first round, but maybe not. I don't know. But the Texans here at number 32, I think we go ahead and now go Josh Downs. Go ahead and get Bryce Young a weapon. So there we go. There's our 1-round mock draft with a couple trades in there. Let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below. Again, be sure to make sure to smash that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Later.